Yep, what's going on, everybody? Is it Rolly back at it again with another video? On to the NFL. All right. On to the NFL. On to the NFL. On to the NFL. On to the NFL. So this week that went by, we had the Browns versus the Seahawks. This game was the number one defense versus Geno Smith, and it came down to the last second. Geno drove the Seahawks down for a game winner touchdown. Very exciting game. Um, what I would say my biggest takeaway is what is going on with Deshaun Watson? What is going on, people? Deshaun Watson hasn't played or looked healthy all season. So what is going on? That is a big concern. People, what is going on with Deshaun Watson? Did he just commit robbery on the Cleveland Browns? Did he just rob them and just decide not to play, aka Andrew Bynum? Oh my God. Deshaun Watson, you're a sneaky devil. Don't tell me you use Cleveland and pay off all them girls. You was a freak ball. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it like. Then we had the Jets versus the Giants. This game was a shitty game. 23 or 26 punts in the game total. That was terrible. So the Jets beat the Giants. Fuck it. I don't really care. the Jets beat the Giants. So yeah. The Giants suck this season. I'll say just tank. You're at number 5 right now. Please just stay there and don't win any more games. Sit everybody. Trade Saquon. Oh, you can't even trade Saquon anymore. Now he's about to leave in free agency, and who knows where he's gonna end up. But then again, you're the New York Giants franchise, so we'll see. Stupid. Like they're so stupid. They're literally so stupid. Like they're so stupid. Like, why would you pay Daniel Jones? Why? Like, to be honest, you got once you get rid of Daniel Jones next season, you gotta get rid of Brian. What's his name? Brian Dable too. You gotta get him out of there. If he start up next season, how he started this season, you gotta get him out of there. I don't care if you want coach of the year because he vouched for Daniel Jones to get paid. He vouched for Daniel Jones to get paid. Lamar Jackson was on the market, and y'all paid Daniel Jones. Y'all paid them. You know, Lamar and Saquon. If y'all wasn't going to pay Saquon, you don't pay Daniel Jones. You go get Lamar Jackson, and then you feel me? You get 1 year of Lamar and Saquon. It's not that hard. Like, it's so frustrating. We had the Patriots versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins beat the Patriots. They waxed the Patriots. Tyreek Hill went off. He didn't go off. A he had a Tyreek game. What I would say, Tua is undefeated against Bill Belichick, 6-0. So shout out to Tua. And Bill Belichick is considered one of the greatest defensive mind head coaches to play the game or to coach the game. So if Tua is undefeated against him, what that has to say about Tua and Tua critics, you guys have to look in the mirror. I understand the Dolphins haven't won, quote unquote, the top games or against the top team as y'all want them to, but you can only play who's on your schedule at the time, and injuries happen. Not making excuses, not a Dolphin fan, but not making excuses. I would just say injuries happen. You got waxed against the Bills, no excuse here. But against the Eagles, you was missing half of your line. So we'll see how y'all do and bounce back. But against the Patriots, you guys seems to win. win consistently against Bill Belichick. So shout out to y'all. Um, what I would say about Mac Jones, he's terrible. He's terrible. Go back in the draft and grab a new quarterback. Mac Jones is not it. Okay, Mac Jones is terrible. Like he's garbage. He has his moments. You know, when you see the garbage man kind of looking swaggy one day, and you be like, ooh. Then you be like, what you do for a living? You be like, oh, I pick up garbage. Then you be like, That's how Mac Jones is once in a while. But most days you'll catch him out doing garbage. That's how terrible he is. The Texans versus the Panthers. This game, I was very upset with this game. This game cost me a lot of money. Cost me a lot of money, Houston. I had faith in you. I had faith in you, CJ Stroud. I had faith in you, D'Amico Ryan. I had faith in you, Will Anderson Jr. What happened? What happened, guys? You guys cost me a lot of money. Get it together. I had a lot of money on y'all. Like you guys were like, get it together. Like you guys was considered a lock. Like Carolina was 0-6. You let them get their first win against you? Pathetic. I don't know if I should put y'all on a ban list or if I should give y'all a second chance. But I would not let this happen again. And you guys would not let this happen again. Get it together. Then we had the Raiders versus the Lions. This was a good game. The Raiders looked terrible. They fired their coach. GM, OC, and benched their quarterback. So that tells you how the Raiders are doing. They're very terrible this season. Very much terrible. Very terrible. But the Lions look very impressive. This was the Jahmyr Gibbs game, the breakout game, the running back out of Alabama. If you're an Alabama fan, Roll Tide, you know you've been knew about him. But now that the NFL is finally getting to see him, and Dan Campbell is finally using him. So shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs and whoever had him in fantasy, because I hope you won this week. All right. Well, I think he had 150 something yards in total. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Feed him more, Dan Campbell. You use your running backs more. You had the Bears versus the Chargers. The Bears are a terrible team. I don't know why they was on prime time. And the NFL has to do something with the scheduling. Because coming up, there's another terrible game that they have on prime time. It's the Raiders versus somebody. I think Raiders versus the Jets. Like, who wants to watch that on prime time? Please. But now it's too late. But where was I? Bears versus the Chargers. Chargers beat the Bears. The Bears are terrible. Tyler Badgett, Tyler Badgett, I think that's his name. He had one good game, and then he came back down to earth. So all the hype with, oh, we got Tyler Badgett, and we could use him and for the rest of the season, and this, that, and third, and no, y'all got your quarterback. Don't be greedy. Y'all got your quarterback. Okay, y'all got your quarterback. Be happy with Justin Fields. Y'all got your quarterback. We could get Caleb. No, relax, guys, relax. You guys don't get good quarterbacks. It's in your franchise DNA. Relax. And we had the Ravens versus the Cardinals. Lamar didn't look as impressive as he looked last week against the Lions. That was kind of expected, but they end up pulling out the win. Cardinals right now has the number one overall pick. They said reportedly that Kyler Murray is coming back. I don't know if that's a smart idea or whatever they're doing. So I don't know if they're trying to get a quarterback or they sticking with Kyler. Me personally, I want to stick with Kyler, but who am I? Who am I? Chiefs versus the Broncos. This was a surprise shocker of the week. The surprise shocker of the week. How did the Chiefs lose to the Broncos? Like, it was truly a spooky Halloween for Chiefs and Chiefs fan because you lost to the Broncos. Pathetic. The offense this season hasn't been as sharp, and people have just been glossing over the fact and been trying to downplay it. But now it's coming to the forefront. You guys lost against the Broncos, a team that you guys haven't lost to in 8 years, and they're having their worst season as of yet within the 8 years. So, what is going on, guys? What is going on? You guys have to fix your offense. And it looks like you guys are sticking with the receivers that you guys have as of right now. We'll see how that goes for you guys. Bengals versus the 49ers. This was a great game for Joe Burrow. Coming off the bye, he looked very impressive. He looked very, very swift in his movements. Joe Burrow was just, slicing and dicing. You feel me? He looked great. Joey, you look great. For the 49ers, Brock Purdy looked terrible. Is he coming back down to earth? Is his insanity run over? Is his insanity run over? Brock Purdy, what is going on? The last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks, this 3 game losing streak, kind of have played terrible against the Bear, not the Bears, against the Browns. You played, yeah, and then against the Vikings, you played terrible. And then this week, you played terrible. So what is going on? Are they some people laughing at the question? Are they going to bench Brock? We'll see how he played. If he keep losing games, eventually you got to come to the this is that question. Is Brock Purdy is the one losing us game? Is he Jimmy G? Do we regret trading Trey Lance? Which I said it would come back and bite y'all. But now, who knows? Who knows? Jaguars versus the Steelers. Jaguars beat the Steelers, so shout out to them. It was very a good game from the Jags. Travis Etienne looked very impressive. We're still waiting for Trevor Lawrence to arrive. We'll see when that will happen. But as of now, the Jags are rolling. They have I think the longest winning streak in the NFL. So we'll see how the Jags are doing. Saints beat the Colts. Derek Carr played good. The Saints, kind of surprised me. I thought they would kind of fall apart based off of what happened last week with all Derek Carr yelling this, that, and there. But they surprised me. They beat the Colts in Indianapolis. The Colts this season, Gardner Minshew is their quarterback for the rest of the season. I guess you just trying to try the waters, look impressive. Um, if possible, get a good draft pick. If anything, just play good football and don't get any of your major players hurt because your quarterback is out for the season. So we'll see. Washington versus the Eagles. The Eagles beat the Commanders once again. It was a close game. Sam Howell has thrown a party on the Eagles both time he played them. The Eagles defense this season haven't been as impressive. Their O-line their D-line. You got injuries on the front and with Jalen Carter and all of that. So we'll see how the Eagles stack up towards the end of the season. All right. But as of right now, Jalen Hurts did play exceptional. He threw for, I think, 4 touchdowns. I think he was the NFC Player of the Week. Shout out to him. Playing on a bum knee. So we'll see how he is. A.J. Brown have been balling. 5 straight games with 125 yards receiving. Shout out to him. But as of right now, if I was to say who was the best receiver, I'll say Tyreek Hill over AJ. I just think Tyreek is much more of a dangerous weapon than AJ. But if that's not the debate at hand, we'll move on to the Titans versus the Falcons. The Titans beat the Falcons. Will Levis threw a party, a breakout game. This kind of remind me of Cam Newton-esque first game. First game threw for four touchdowns. So shout out to Will Levis. We'll see how he stacks up towards the end of this closing out the season because I would assume that he's the starter from now on. And hopefully this is his team. And the Titans can actually look good because they do have a good defense, and a good head coach. So I do like the Titans, and if Will Levis can continue to, not nobody is expecting him to throw for 4 touchdowns every game, but just be above every, be better than Tannehill. That's all. And Tannehill set the bar really low. So just be better than him. You showed you have a very impressive arm. You have a better arm than Tannehill from jump. So just keep doing what you're doing, and watch film, focusing on what you're doing. The Vikings beat the Packers. The Vikings beat the Packers. Kirk Cousins, Jordan Addison was very impressive. I told y'all Jordan Addison was going to be the best rookie receiver this year. So shout out to Jordan Addison for proving me right. Sadly, Kirk Cousins went down with an ACL injury to his ACL. No, to his Achilles. His Achilles, not his ACL. He's to his Achilles. He's out for the season. So that's sad to say. Sad to report about Kirk Cousins. But they did get Josh Dobbs through they traded for Josh Dobbs, so we'll see if they can salvage the season. Right now, they're currently, if the playoffs was to start today, they'll be number 7, so they'll be in the playoff. So we'll see how they go. I kind of like the team overall with JJ coming back, Jordan Addison improving and showing that what he's capable of, and then the tight end TJ Hawkinson. So we'll see what Josh Dobbs could do in the run game and with Cam Akers, and I really like what's going on in Minnesota. So I'm not gonna say it, but Minnesota, if the defense could fix itself and show that, you know, it's it's not because Minnesota, I feel like Minnesota gotta show that they're a playoff team. Like, yes, they make the playoff, but in the playoff, they don't feel like a playoff team. They don't feel like they belong in the playoff. You feel me? Minnesota has to feel like they belong, whatever they have to do. So fix the defense, run the ball, be a smash mouth team, do whatever. Because every time y'all get in the playoffs, y'all get punked. And the one time y'all did win recently in the playoff, it was on the Stephon Diggs. Cowboys. Cowboys dominated the Rams. It wasn't really much of a game. Cowboys was very impressive. They smoked the Rams 43-20. The Cowboys defense was impressive. They scored the touchdown. Their special teams was impressive. They got a block punt for a touchdown. And then their offense was impressive also. So all around, the Cowboys were impressive. We'll see how they stack up against the Eagles this week. And then we had the Bills versus the Bucks. The Bills beat down on the Bucks. Really wasn't much to say. 24-18. Baker was okay. The Bills. It was a good game, but shout out to Buffalo. We'll see how Buffalo is come playoff time. To be honest, hopefully they win their division. I believe now they either first or second in the division. I think Miami is first, but Buffalo. If you guys have the obviously advantage against Miami, so if you guys could get it together against New England, which you guys keep New England and the Jets. I don't know how you guys lost the first game, but hopefully you guys don't lose again to the Jets. So we'll see how you guys do. College football. The committee finally released their first ranking of the season, and it was a shocker. So let's just dive right into it. I got a lot of reactions to it. I think I'm gonna start at 5 and work my way to number 1, because at number 5 they have Washington. At number 5 they have Washington. Now Washington, the season they had, I think this is the highest they've been ranked in the college football since the college football playoffs. So shout out to them. What a terrific season they've been having. Michael Penix Jr. Is obviously the Heisman favorite. He should win the Heisman this year with the season he's been putting up. he kind of went in a slump, but his slump is what 7 touchdowns in 2 games or 5 touchdowns in 2 games. Like, come on, if that's the slump, I'll take that. But um, obviously this year he's obviously a Heisman pick, so that's a surprise there at number 5. Then at number 4 they have Florida State. Florida State, they basically Florida State. I agree with this spot for Florida State, um, being that they still have to prove themselves that they belong in the playoffs. Yeah, the record, and they play in the ACC, and they won against Dabo Sweeney, which is a national champion in himself. But at the end of the day, we still have to see a lot from Florida State and see are they for real. So having them at number 4, having the Heisman favorite and Michael Penix Jr. at number 5 is obviously set up that if Florida State do slip up, there's an opportunity that we could have a Heisman, um, we could have the Heisman favorite, or we could have a Pac-12 team in a college football playoff once again. So shout out to them. Um, but with Florida and the ACC, like I said, they still have a lot to prove. They have a tough closing schedule coming up ahead. So we'll see how they do, and hopefully they don't slip up because I kind of do want to see um, Florida State in a college football playoffs. So hopefully we can see that and have that happen. Now the surprise at number 3, they have Michigan at number 3. Now having Michigan at number 3, I was kind of surprised. I kind of thought if Michigan should have been top 2, in my opinion. Um, I'll get to the top 2 in just a second. But Michigan have been, to me, from start to finish, the most dominant team. Now, what I would say that have hurt Michigan is that the fact that they haven't played any real competition. Um, uh, their schedule have been kind of light. Uh, they haven't really been tested. So at the end of the day, and now they got a big scandal hanging over them. Who knows what's going to happen with their coach, if he's going to leave for the NFL or if he's going to get fired or suspended. Who knows, or he's just going to get assigned again, because that the sign stealing scandal is really gaining some traction now, being that the one of the I guess the offensive coach or the athletic coaches have come forward as the whistleblower, I guess, that's testifying against or providing the evidence. So we have to keep an eye on that. And having Michigan at number 3 is kind of, we'll see how they finish, because they do have a tough end to their season, and it all depends on how they finish. And with this scandal, it's kind of going to be a tough storm, and we have to see how they weather it. So they have an opportunity of either moving up, staying at where they at, or possibly falling out of the college football playoff altogether. Because as we can see when we get further into the list, there's another Big Ten team in the college football playoff rankings in the top 5. So with Michigan, they do play Penn State and Ohio State. So we'll see where how they finish the season. Now, what I would say is at number 2. Oh, in my opinion, like I said, I would have Michigan either at number 1 or number 2. So at number 2, they have Georgia. Okay, some people would disagree of why Georgia should be number 2. In my opinion, I believe Georgia should be number 3. Some people believe Georgia should be number 1. Based off this season and what I've seen from Georgia this season, I do not believe that they should be number 1. I believe this season Georgia has been the 3rd best team in the nation, because I seen them play a close game against an unranked Auburn team where they had to win by 7. I seen them play I wouldn't say a tight game, but it was an interesting game against Vanderbilt. I seen them. The defense haven't looked. The defense is coming together. Their offense haven't looked as strong as they looked last season. now that Brock Bowers have been out of he's out for what 3 to 4 more weeks. We'll see how they perform. I like how they came out of the bye week, so we'll see how they perform altogether. But just saying that, within the bye, you have time to prepare, get ready, and everything like that. So we'll see what's going on and how Georgia looks offensively. Because me, I'm not sold on them offensively as of yet. So that's why I would have Georgia at number three, Michigan at number two, or number one. But I could settle for Michigan at number two. Now at number one, we have Ohio State. I believe this season, Ohio State have been the best team. I believe Ohio State have been the best team this season in the college football. I say that because based off the strength of schedule and how the team looked overall. They have the best offensive weapon in college football right now in Marvin Harrison Jr. He's unstoppable. They have a good running game. They have a good O line. They have a top five defense ranked in the nation. That says a lot. And strength of schedule. And beat. They have played and beat Notre Dame and Penn State. Both was ranked at the time either top 10 or top 15. They have beat them. No other team in the nation that have had the strength of schedule that have Ohio State have had, and they're undefeated. We'll see how they do against Michigan, but as of right now, I agree having Ohio State at number one based off the strength of schedule, how their team looked offensively and defensively all together, and their coaching staff. And I just like the team. We'll see how they do against Michigan. I'll take them against Michigan